Hey guys, and welcome to Tnashi's Movie Corner. So, I've been doing reviews ever so often of movies that came out last year that I had yet to see. One of the things that I bought recently, even though I hadn't seen it, was SouthPaw. I bought it because, I had a steelbook, and it was pretty cheap. Now, going into this movie, I'd heard a bunch of mixed things on it. A lot of people said it's kind of a by the books movie, a boxing movie, and I gotta say, that being the biggest criticism that this movie has, yes, actually, it is kind of by the books. You have Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays Billy Hope, and he's a boxer, he's a champion, everything. He's kind of at his peak, and then we have Rachel McAdams as his wife, Maureen Hope. And there ends up being a tragedy. She ends up, getting killed through this unfortunate series of events that takes place, and he in turn loses custody of his daughter, Layla Hope, who's played by Anna Lawrence. So he gets down on his luck, and it's about him trying to rise back up and get his daughter back, as well as maybe prove himself back in the boxing world and everything. So it is more or less by the numbers in that regard. But I gotta say, there's tons of movies out there that are kind of by the numbers, and if they're done right, you can excuse the fact that it is so. Just because we've seen the story again doesn't necessarily mean the story is bad or can't be done in a good way. So going through, Jake Gyllenhaal, I think, gives an amazing performance in this movie. I was really captivated by his character. I think Rachel McAdams, for her screen time, does fine. You have Forrest Whitaker in the movie, and he's almost never given a bad performance. I won't say he's never given it, but he's done a lot of good performances. So you got him. You've got Anna Lawrence, who plays the daughter again. I think she does a good job as well. 50 Cent. This is one of those movies that really, it's an emotional movie. It's an emotionally impactful movie, driven movie, and I think it has a lot to offer in that aspect of it, as well as the boxing itself, is really cool. So I bought into these characters because of the acting and because of the emotion that was gripping these characters, that was coming through in the acting, and really pulling me to root for him, for Jake Gyllenhaal, who, by the way, the guy he's playing isn't the best guy in the world. He certainly has his problems, so he's a flawed character, but there's just something about the way he does it that wants me to root for him, and I feel like I'm rooting for him. And so I think in many ways this movie achieves what it wants. I like the cinematography of it, the score itself, the soundtrack and everything. There's a new song by Eminem. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but overall the music was just fine. Like I said, the acting is really good all around. There's some good fight scenes. And do you know how the story plays out? Sure, of course you do. As they said, we've seen this before, but I think it's really well done, and I'm certainly glad I got it. I got it for like $10, so for a steelbook, which was great, but I would have paid more for it, having now seen the movie, because I just think there's a lot of things that work on this movie, and yes, we know point A, B, and C, but we don't know the little turns that the movie takes along the way. We don't know how every single point is playing out. We just know the major things that it has to go by. At 2 hours and 4 minutes, it is a little on the long side. It might be a tad too long, but there's really not much for me to criticize on this film. I think, as I said, it did a really good job. The only major problems I have is, yes, it's a tad too long. Yes, it's a bit predictable, and frankly, the antagonist of the film is just kind of there. 50 Cent Not the best actor in the world. He does all right, but that aside, I'm gonna give this a high rating because I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. I almost a 10 for me, but there's a few things that do knock it down a bit. However, I'm very glad that I got this movie. I saw this movie, and I'm not sure if it would have been in my top list or not, but I'm definitely glad I saw it. So anyway, I was late to the game, but are you late to the game? Have you seen this movie? If so, what did you think about it? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below, as well as tell me, what is your favorite boxing movie? There's been a few out there, you know. Wrestling movie will work too, like The Wrestler, like SouthPaw, like Take Them to the Boom, I think is another one with Kevin. I don't know. I don't even want to say, but you know, there's been a few out there for sure. So go ahead and let me know which ones, what's your favorite one of them, and what you thought of this movie. And hopefully you enjoyed this vid. Click that like button, share, subscribe to my channel, and watch my other vids. I do appreciate it. And until next time, peace.